What's going on, people? It's Mr. Dore back again with the previous show. I hope everyone's fit and well. And yes, this game is a bit crackers because, as you know, we were talking to Sam before we started. 3 years ago, we was both fighting for promotion to playoffs. As you know, Bournemouth won 1-0 and they got promoted. This one's a bit different because now we're both fighting for Champions League. Let that sink in for some Bournemouth fans. Fighting for Champions League football. It's amazing, amazing. Before I get the man himself, watch the score predictions for basically it's the biggest game of the weekend if you think about it. But I've got the man himself, Sam from Back of the Net. Sam, how are you and how are you feeling about this big game at the weekend?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, doing all right. Obviously, we're playing so well at the moment, and the team is exceeding expectations. Everyone is so happy with the way things are, and we're exceeding expectations, albeit with an injury crisis at the moment. But we seem to be overcoming every hurdle that we come across. We're on our best run of results in the Premier League so far, and you know what? I always look at Forest as maybe a match where we can get points, but this time, I don't know, man. You are strong. We're doing okay as well. It's going to be one that I think Sky Sports probably wish they televised, but
yes,
they just wouldn't have imagined that our two teams would be battling out at the top of the table. But excited, nervous, all the emotions.
You're nervous. I'm more nervous because, as you know, you're our bogey team. We never beat Bournemouth. I think the last time we beat you lot was at your lot's ground was under Stuart Pearce. If you remember, Matt Fryer and Brett Malonga. That's the last time we beat you lot. But we don't beat you lot at your ground.
Yeah,
you lot got to be the favourites for this one, don't you? Surely.
Yeah, you would say that. I mean, I do feel as though the current problem with our injuries and a threadbare squad, eventually it is going to catch up on us. And whilst our recent win at Newcastle pricked the ears up of many Premier League fans, I mean, it's incredible, really. I mean, one of the things to Andoni Iraola's credit, he doesn't mention it. That much at all, and it wasn't really mentioned until the eyes of the world were watching the Newcastle game, because obviously it was the first game of the match week, and so Premier League fans who had 3 o'clock kickoffs were watching it in the pubs. Teams that are playing on the Sundays would have been watching us on TNT Sports as well, and that's where it's mentioned that we literally only have 11 senior players available because we've got a horrible injury crisis. But Andoni Iraola hasn't really complained. Compare that with couple of years ago with Scott Parker, where we lost 9-0 to Liverpool, and in the post-match interview, he's there in the press saying, "We need help here. I need signings. I need help." But Andoni Iraola hasn't complained once, and he just gets his players that he's got. He gels them together. They know what they got to do, and he's got them playing to the level that he wants them to play at. But I'm sure the fatigue will at some point play a part. I just hope it won't be against Forest this weekend, because you're a very well drilled side as well, and you know what, mate? It's a joy to see teams like yourself, also the class of 2022 in the Championship, even Fulham doing well as well in the top 10. To see these three teams, it sort of dispels the myth a little bit. I know it's been 2 seasons since we've been back up, but it sort of dispels the myth that there's this massive gap between the Championship and the Premier League, when only 2 years later we're competing for European football, which is mad. I mean, you're mad. You're
in total exactly the same this morning, Sam. You just mentioned, like I said, 2 years ago, like I said, you mentioned Fulham. Like, I've always want, because when you mentioned about the injuries, and managers not mentioned them, but you're just doing your job. And Bournemouth, like I said, I want teams like yourself, Fulham, Brighton, Villa, Newcastle already there, and you hear people saying, "Oh, this league it's not been great," but because like our team and your team are doing fantastic, it's just a bit jealous in it. Because like I said, you're like, I saw your bench on Saturday, and I thought, they're not going to.
Who are these players?
Who are these players? Yeah. I thought, I was like, and when I saw 4-1, I was like, wow, this man just doing something special, and he's not like, you just said it, he's not moaning about it at all.
No, exactly. And, for a club like us, I mean, I think for our size club, we're a much smaller team than you are. You've got the European history and stuff. But for us, we haven't got any of that. But we're a team that's spent most of our time in the lower league. So to be where we are now, it must act as inspiration for the teams that are in sort of League One and bottom of the Championship or whatever, and thinking, actually, if Bournemouth can do it, then maybe we can as well. So I think it's a good thing for the Premier League. I know you're sort of, your usual big six clubs are saying, oh, it's apart from sort of Liverpool, maybe Arsenal, they're sort of saying, oh, the standard's weaker this year, Man City aren't on it, Spurs aren't on it, etc. But the reason that they're not on it is because teams like yourselves, like teams like us are getting results against them, and fully deserved as well. I mean, this season we've had more results against the big six than I think we've ever had. Manchester City, Manchester United, Arsenal, Spurs, all disposed of. Newcastle, arguably should be in a big seven, maybe. We got a result. We didn't only beat them with a skanky 1-0. We absolutely battered them with the kids on the bench and stuff, and also players playing out of position. We've not got a right back, so Lewis Cook, our centre midfielder, he's filling in. We haven't got a striker, so our right winger's playing there. It's mad what's happening. But you know what? I'm really pleased to see you doing how you're doing. I think we've had a sort of close relationship over the years because we've always been in the same divisions and competing around the same level, and it seems to be happening again, man. So it's exciting, but it's good for the Premier League.
I was thinking. I remember when you came to Nottingham, and I did it on your vlog. I remember you saying, where do you think Forest will finish? And now we're both talking about Champions League football. So right now, I don't. What was your expectations at the start of the season? Was it same as like all Forest fans were saying on relegation? We'll be happy with stay clear. What was your expectations, and what is your expectations now?
I should put my glasses on and try to look like Dave Asprey here because I want to say 17th because that's what he always says. I'm happy with 17th, but you know what? I think that I knew that we'd be safe this year because it does seem to be that usually the teams that are promoted from the Championship, usually at least two of them are there and thereabouts. And at the end of the day, I do think we're better than that. I do think that we're a mid-table side, and I'd have been happy with achieving like higher mid-table sort of. I think the aim is always to improve on either our position or our points tally. Last season under Andoni Iraola, his first season, we got a record points tally for us, which was 48 in the Premier League. Our best previously was 46th under Eddie Howe. That got us into 9th place. That was a bit of a rogue season, really, because that points tally wouldn't get 9th place again, I don't think, in the Premier League. But we're on our way to getting 10 or 15 points more than that with the way we're going at the moment. I would have taken mid-table. So to see where we are, it's fair to say we are overachieving maybe, but I don't know, with the players that we've got, are we? I don't know. I think that one of the things that always happens in football is that the longer the season goes on, your expectations get higher. Yeah. And so then now I would be sort of disappointed to finish outside the top 10, which is madness to think of.
Sam, I know you got loads of injuries, but I still think you can push on. I think, like for me, because now we're third in the league, my expectation has gone sky high now. I think we can get Champions League football. Like if we don't, I'll still be happy with Europa. If we don't get Europa, I'll be happy with Conference. Would you? What's your minimum target? Don't you think you'll get Champions League or Europa? Pushing it.
I think we're blowing hot at the moment, and I am aware that there are only so many times you can spin the roulette wheel and it all appear on the same colour like it's been doing for us. I think at some point, the wheels will fall off a little bit, not to the extent
as well.
Yeah, maybe I don't think either of our seasons will completely derail. We'll have some rogue results here and there. We're not going to go unbeaten from now until the end of the season, nor will Forest, I'm absolutely certain. But I don't want to set my expectations sort of too high. But you know what? An 8th place finish.
We've got to enjoy it, Sam.
Yes.
But Dave. I think not Dave. It was Dave Ashby said to me. No, it wasn't Dave. My friend Des. Just enjoy it. That's what we've got to enjoy it because where we are, and that's why I'm trying to push you out, Sam. Wait, come on, you've got to give me it. It's not like yes, we're doing well, and yes, we are going to have bumps and bruises from now to the end of May, but you got to give it, Sam. You got to just. I think I'm trying to get it out of you, Sam. We're not getting out of it.
I think for me, I'm just concerned about maybe getting overexcited and then being disappointed. I'd rather
Yeah,
be feeling pessimistic and then experience the euphoria later on. But I think for me, in a weird sort of way, because our club is doing so well at the moment, we've got some brilliant players, but let's face it, these players that we've signed last season, 2 seasons ago, they're not signing for Bournemouth to spend the rest of their careers there.
yeah,
They're using us as a stepping stone. So what happens, and I've said this on Football's 12th Man, the conveyor belt is moving faster. So,
yeah.
they will arrive at Vitality Stadium and then they'll get off quite quickly. But now that we've got the manager that we've got, now we've got the players that we've got, in my mind, like, this is the season. If we're going to do it, this is the season where if we're going to go for the E word, and I try not to say it too much because it scares me, but like, if we are going to
It
go
scares
for it,
me, though, Sam. It scares me.
yeah,
How do you think I
but
feel? How do you think I
like
feel?
this has to be the season where we do it. For instance, like with Leicester, who won the league. If they hadn't won the league that season, and I know you won't want to talk about Leicester too much because of your
They're not
battles
our
with
rivals. Come on,
locks
Sam.
everywhere. I
They're
know they're
not our
not.
rivals.
But had they not won the Premier League that season, there's no chance they would have won it the season after that. And a few seasons later they were relegated. So it kind of shows you that the future is never certain. So now that we've got the opportunity, I would love to take it now. But not getting Europe wouldn't be like disappointing for me because we'd still be batting above our kind of like station. Like we really, to be top 10 would be brilliant. It really would. But eighth would be nice, and that could
You go on
still get
tour. You
Europe.
do a European tour.
Yeah, I mean, eighth could be nice because all depending on the EFL Cup. If Spurs won it,
Yeah.
which is unlikely because they don't win trophies anyway, that
That
would mean that
sounds a
eighth is
cheap
not a
shot,
thing.
Sam. That's a cheap shot. Come
Yeah,
on.
but eighth is not a that would mean that eighth wouldn't be anything. But eighth would be fine, and going to the Conference League and having a drink in some kind of town square in Albania, whatever. I'll take it.
Slovakia, all them.
Yeah, whatever. I'll take it.
You just said about your manager because I think when he first came to your club, I didn't know really much about him, and for what he's done, and like I said, the players that he's brought in, you can mention Cliver, is it Semendo?
Yes, Semenya, yeah.
Semendo. I'm not gonna lie, I was so happy when you sold Billing to Napoli because he always scores past Forest every single time.
He does, yeah.
But you got some good players, man. Even Kepa from Chelsea. The manager's fantastic, but I know he's always going to be linked with these so-called big clubs. But what's your opinion on him? And do you think he can progress Bournemouth to, like I said, if you do get European football, it's a bigger like Forest? But what's your opinion on him?
I just think he's brilliant. I mean, at the moment he's trying to find his kids a school in the local area, so which to me is a like really positive thing. But he's incredible. Like what he's done on the pitch is brilliant. Now I know that we sacked Gary O'Neill and the media were up in arms about us getting rid of him. A young English manager that saved Bournemouth or whatever. But fair play to our board and our recruiters because they saw the opportunity to pounce on Andoni Iraola, a manager that they just really like the style of, and they got him in when they could. Now, our players took a while to get to learn that because his first 9 games weren't pretty. And we got a few points on the board, but we were in the relegation zone or just hovering in and around it. But then all of a sudden, something clicked. And since then, we've been absolutely brilliant to watch. And he seems to get every last drop out of every player. It's a sort of modular system that we use where players can just slot in and do a job. They know their roles. There's this telepathy between players where they know what each other's going to do. The movement's so fluid, overlapping fullbacks, pressing high, winning the ball back in the final third and making sure we get a shot away, like you saw at Newcastle at the weekend with a couple of our goals where we press high. I think in the Premier League we've got the highest stats for winning the ball in the final third and then getting a shot away, which is superb. But he's the person that's made it happen. And look, we've been lucky over the years, over my kind of the main part of my supporting era of having Eddie Howe, who we thought was a legend, for us, and produce it, and some really beautiful football to watch, really exciting. We had a couple of years where yes, it wasn't great, but we got back up to the Premier League. But now this guy's come in and made it really exciting again. It is proper good, proper good to watch. And we are more than a match for anyone in the Premier League now, as we've shown from the results. So long may it continue, because he's the glue that kind of, binds this team together at the moment, and we absolutely love him. We really do. We'd be lost without him at the moment.
Exactly. I was thinking about, I'm not mentioning Forest. What's your thoughts on Forest? Because, like I said, you came to our ground, which was drawn 1-1 at City.
That looks like a good result now.
It does.
Yeah,
it does. But what's your thoughts on Forest so far this season? I know everyone's buzzing about where we are in the league, but what's your thoughts on them?
I just think they've been absolutely superb. What Nuno's done is absolutely brilliant. I mean, I'm just really impressed with the way you go about things. I think you're quite similar to us in a way, in that you're quite economical with the ball. You don't have possession for possession's sake. But we almost prefer it when the opposition team has more of the ball. Like, if we're having more of the ball, and it's probably the same for you, it's a bit like, we don't want this. We pick and choose our moments to drive forward and stuff. And I've seen some of your goals that you've scored, quick on the counter attacks, etc. You've got such a good spine of your side. I think it's absolutely superb. I mean, Murillo
signed a contract as well today.
Yeah, I know. But then Gibbs White's been superb. Chris Woods. I mean,
did he do for Bournemouth?
No,
it was Leicester.
No, he didn't. But Chris Wood is just. I called him Chris Woods, but that was a lad I went to school with. But Chris Wood, singular.
Chris Wood.
Just unbelievable. He's your proper, old-fashioned striker, but he's brilliant with it as well. Scores with his head. Scores hat tricks for fun. I mean, I remember that one at Newcastle, which was
what a day. We've got something in common.
Exactly, but I, just really impressed with the way you go about things. And if changes are made, it doesn't really seem to matter, and everyone seems to know their jobs. And one thing about you this season is that even in the games where you're not maybe performing or up to your normal levels, you're getting results. So that really stands you in good stead for Europe. I mean, I'm certain you'll get Europe. I'm certain, but it just depends at what stage you get. But the pressure's on, and other teams are going to improve. You're going to have to keep alongside them as well. So it's going to be a tasty end. But I'd be really gutted if you or us didn't get European football. I'm sure one of us will.
I'll be gutted.
More likely yourselves, because obviously where you are in the league table at the moment. But I just think it's incredible, and what your fan base. We've done a number of vlogs and previews and stuff, and they always come in their numbers and they've subscribed. They've been really nice about us. I mean, there's always a few salty comments every now and then or whatever, but that's to be expected. But on the whole, the fans are brilliant, and also in the City ground. I mean, I heard how loud it was against Liverpool, and it just looked absolutely insane. Amazing. So it is really deserved. It's deserved if you get something, and I certainly hope you do.
Before we get your score predictions, Sam, tell everyone about your YouTube channel, because I watched the vlog from Newcastle, and I watched the travelling vlog as well. That was amazing. I watched it there last night. Tell everyone how to follow your channel as well, man.
Yeah, so it's Back of the Net on YouTube. Type that in, or on socials.
I'll put the link in. I'll put the link in the description so everyone can follow.
Oh, top man! It's at AFCB Podcast on socials, and we do exactly the same thing as you do. And by the way, mate, I've got to credit you for doing what you do, because I think you're fairly similar stuff, like previews like this, and you know what? There's no more authentic an experience that you can have than traveling up and down the country to watch your team. You're hearing the conversations on the concourse, which don't necessarily match those on social media, so what fans are saying, so the real conversations and the dedication and the cost. By the way, it ain't cheap to do what we do.
This is why if we do get Europe, Sam,
good luck.
It costs an arm and a leg. This is why people, you make sure you subscribe to mine and Sam's channel. So, and as well, and little donations to our channel. But like I said, when you watch Sam's channel, please go and subscribe. I was watching the vlog. I watched the vlog, and then I watched the traveling vlog afterwards. I was like, this guy spent money on traveling. I was like, oh my God.
I travelled to Edinburgh from Bournemouth because it was a cheap flight from Bournemouth Airport, and then I got a train down. But yeah, I mean, loads of fans congregated on St James's Park in different ways. But I just wanted to pay credit to like to you, because I know you and Dave and Des travel up and down the country. Look, you could be a fan channel that just sit in a room and talk football and stuff, but that's not real, man. To me anyway. And you've got your gold bridges and stuff, and I know they do their clickbait stuff, but you get the real conversations and you capture the moments that those are memories that you'll have like forever. Like watch, and this season especially. What a season to be doing it with. So credit to you for all you're doing, mate, as well.
Thank you, respect for that, Sam. Like I said, make sure everyone goes and subscribe to the channel. His link is in the description as well. So people as well, you're watching this, watch your score prediction for the game. Like I said, we do struggle away at Bournemouth. We did last 2 visits. It's been 1-1, if I do remember. And I've been there. How many times I've been there? 3 times, I think I have. 3 times I've been there, and I've not won. So Forest, please. Just do a result for us, because like I said, Bournemouth, it's not going to be, people assume it's going to be easy. It's not as well. So people in chat, what is score prediction for tomorrow's game, Saturday's game? What's your score prediction, Sam, for Saturday's game?
Look, I'm going to be realistic with this, and I think that I would love to think we'll get a result, but I think a draw would probably suit both teams. I think but I tell you what, it would be, and this is a match where a win for either side would be a massive statement.
Big statement.
But for you, if you beat us, that's a huge statement, because obviously, with what we've done recently, for us it would be huge given your form as well. But I think those two things will probably nullify each other out. And if Dave is going to shake my hand on Saturday, he'll probably want me to say that it's going to be a draw. So that's what I'm going to say. That's for you, Dave. 1-1.
You know what? I thought the same as well, because like I said, our home record's been fantastic. Away record has been fantastic. But I was speaking to loads of Forest fans, and this game, Bournemouth, will make a big statement. Like I said, we beat teams like Man United, Brentford, who at that time didn't.
Home record was amazing, wasn't it?
It was amazing, and we went there. We won. Went to Everton as well, and we never went there, and we won. Went to Wolves, the manager rebounds, and we won there. But if we go to Bournemouth and we get a win, it's a massive statement to see if Forest can. The word I'm thinking on it loosely, title contenders. But we all know Liverpool. We need Liverpool to slip, and right now they're not slipping. So I'm saying it, and right now I think it's going to be 2-1 to either side. I think it's going to, it's going to be 2-1 to either side. But I've got to back my boys, and I think 2-1 Forest. Bournemouth, like I said, they've got good players. The player I think we've also stop is Clivert.
He's a good player.
Them 2 players for me as well. You've got to praise. Is it Adams? The
Tyler Adams, Ryan Christie and Tyler Adams are brilliant in midfield.
Yes, Tyler Adams. I thought he's another player. I remember Forrest linked with him when he was at Leeds, and I thought, Jamie Dodger, that Bournemouth got. And I think I've got to praise Bournemouth because there's buy-in players, up and coming players as well. I think it was the season before. Was it season before that? I think it was. I can't remember, but it's going to be tight. And I've got to back boys. I'm saying 2-1 people. But like I said, people, who do you think is going to win? Forest or Bournemouth? And in the comment section as well, people, can Bournemouth, like yourself, get Champions League football, Europa, or Conference? I don't mind where we go. But you see me and Sam, wherever, FaceTiming each other, like
you'll be there.
I would say like we're in this place like Afghanistan or Kazakhstan or wherever. Wherever. But people, get in the comment section now. Sam, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for coming over the channel as well. And make sure everyone subscribe to AFC podcast as well. Go and watch all the vlogs as well. Like I said, the traveling vlog. I watched football vlogs, but the traveling vlog was amazing, man. I really enjoyed it, man. And that's why it's good. Like Sam said, we work hard going to all these grounds, traveling. It costs us so much. But like I said, people, please go and support both of our channels. Tough game, people. I'll be there as well. Dave and Des will be there as well on Saturday. It's the 4th time lucky. I just hope. Remember that game before I go? I remember that game when you lot beat us 1-0, and that I was buzzing. I was like, oh, we got to win, and then Kiefer Moore scored that goal. But I just don't want them moments. I don't want that moment again because that hurt my feelings. But everyone knew we won the playoffs. and we're back in the Premier League with Bournemouth. But it's been a pleasure, people. Make sure you do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Make sure everyone subscribes to the channel as well. Get your score predictions in now. I'll see you Saturday. Can Forest win at Bournemouth at last? Peace and love up the Forest, people.